Christianity's rise is often told as a sweeping epic, a story that begins in the dusty hills of Judea, in a world ruled by emperors and ancient traditions. At its heart is a charismatic teacher named Jesus, whose words and actions would echo through history. He brings a message that challenges the very foundations of Roman power and religious authority. Jesus gathers a handful of devoted followers, preaches love, forgiveness, and repentance, and is ultimately executed by Roman authorities as a threat to the established order. But his story doesn't end there. His followers claim he rose from the dead, igniting a movement that begins to spread quietly but persistently across the vast Roman Empire. The apostles, like Peter and Paul, traveled dangerous roads and crossed stormy seas, carrying their message to distant cities. They faced suspicion, ridicule, and sometimes brutal persecution. Roman emperors, threatened by this new faith, tried to stamp it out with force and fear. But the movement only grows stronger in the shadows. Stories of martyrs, men and women who refuse to renounce their faith even in the face of death, inspire more converts, forging a resilient and passionate identity among believers. Then, a dramatic turning point. Emperor Constantine, on the eve of battle, has a vision that leads him to embrace the Christian God. He wins a decisive victory and ends the persecution of Christians. Suddenly, Christianity is not just tolerated, but welcomed by the empire's most powerful man. The faith that once hid in catacombs now walks openly in palaces. Within a few decades, it becomes the official religion of Rome, transforming the empire's identity and future. The cross, once a symbol of shame and execution, is now displayed on monuments and banners as a sign of imperial power and hope. This is the familiar story, a clear, almost inevitable path from obscurity to triumph, from a small group of believers to a faith that shapes empires. Jesus preaches, apostles spread the word, martyrs inspire, and an emperor converts. The narrative seems simple, almost destined. The faith of a crucified carpenter becomes the foundation of Western civilization, shaping art, law, and culture for centuries to come. But this dramatic version, told and retold for generations, leaves out the most intriguing and complicated parts of the story. It doesn't explain how a small, often divided sect managed to outlast so many powerful rivals and survive centuries of uncertainty. Nor does it reveal how Christianity fundamentally reshaped the world, its politics, its philosophies, and the very way people understood life and death. The real story is stranger, more complex, and far more human than the legend, a story of struggle, adaptation, and unexpected twists. To truly understand Christianity's rise, we have to look beyond the legends and explore the messy, fascinating reality behind the myth. The Roman Empire was a marketplace of gods and philosophies, with countless cults rising and falling. Early Christians were just one more odd group, followers of a crucified man, lacking prestige or state support. By all odds, they should have vanished like so many others. So why did Christianity survive? The answer isn't just persecution or luck. Its beliefs were offensive to both Jews and Romans, making its survival a genuine puzzle. Divine intervention is a matter of faith, but historians seek human reasons. What made Christian communities so resilient? The real story is found in the daily lives of believers. Their strength wasn't in grand strategy, but in ordinary choices. Christianity's engine was built in homes, streets, and sick rooms. It was a revolution of community, not conquest. Here lies the secret to its endurance. Early Christians refused to participate in Roman public religion, a bold, dangerous stance. Romans saw religious rituals as civic duty. Refusal was antisocial and even treasonous. Christians, believing in one God, would not honor the emperor or Roman gods. This made them outsiders, accused of atheism and targeted for persecution. Yet this refusal forged a powerful group identity. Membership in the church was total commitment, not casual affiliation. The boundary between Christian and non-Christian was sharp and meaningful. This created bonds of loyalty and solidarity rare in the ancient world. Christianity offered a new kind of belonging, transcending city, family, or trade. The cost of entry was high, but the reward was a new family and purpose. Outsiders found a place to belong. This strength, born from refusal, was key to Christianity's growth. Inside the Christian boundary, something radical happened, a revolution of care that would ripple through history and reshape society itself. Early Christians practiced compassion for the poor, sick, and marginalized, not as charity for status, but as a core command, a sacred duty that set them apart from the world around them. During plagues, when others fled in fear, Christians stayed behind to nurse the sick, caring not only for their own, but also for their pagan neighbors, risking their lives for the sake of love. This simple hands-on care increased survival rates dramatically and inspired countless conversions as people witnessed a new kind of selfless love. The church quickly became known as a place of safety, refuge, and compassion, a sanctuary for anyone in need regardless of their background. Their actions spoke louder than sermons, revealing a God who cared deeply for the suffering and the forgotten, and who called his followers to do the same. Christianity welcomed all, rich and poor, slave and free, men and women, Romans and outsiders, breaking down barriers that divided ancient society. Women, in particular, found dignity and status within the church that was denied to them elsewhere, becoming leaders and valued members of the community. This inclusive, caring network attracted people from every walk of life, drawing them into a new kind of family bound by love and mutual support. The church's social fabric, woven from acts of kindness and solidarity, proved stronger and more enduring than the empire itself. Compassion became its most powerful engine for growth, fueling a movement that would transform lives and communities for generations. In a harsh and often unforgiving world, Christianity offered hope, belonging, and a vision of a better way to live together. For centuries, Christianity grew quietly from the ground up, spreading through close-knit social networks, acts of charity, and the daily lives of ordinary people. Early believers gathered in homes and marketplaces, supporting one another in times of hardship and persecution, forging a resilient community bound by faith and compassion. Then, in the early 4th century, Emperor Constantine changed everything. With a single decision, he made Christianity the empire's favored faith, transforming its future forever. Persecution ended almost overnight. Property was restored to Christian communities, and the church suddenly gained wealth, land, and unprecedented influence within Roman society. Bishops emerged as public figures, wielding new authority. The church adopted a formal hierarchy, mirroring the structure of the empire itself. Suddenly, being Christian became an advantage. Crowds flocked to the faith, including many who were drawn more by opportunity than conviction. The line between church and world blurred. The faith of martyrs was now embraced by the powerful, and Christianity became woven into the fabric of imperial life. This alliance brought resources and influence, but also entangled the church in the complex world of imperial politics and power struggles. Doctrinal disputes, once local, now became imperial crises, debated in grand councils and watched by the emperor himself. The emperor intervened directly in church affairs, seeking unity and stability for his realm, but also shaping the faith's direction. The quiet revolution was over. Christianity was now part of the establishment, its leaders mingling with the elite and its churches rising across the empire. The church built hospitals and orphanages, expanding its charitable mission, but also faced new challenges and responsibilities. Its character changed as it gained power, with new art, rituals, and even temptations of luxury and prestige. The faith's grassroots strength was tested by its new status, as believers navigated the tension between humble origins and imperial grandeur. The church's alliance with Rome seemed unbreakable until the empire collapsed. Invasions, instability, and economic collapse brought Rome to its knees. Many blamed Christians for abandoning the old gods, yet as the empire fell, the church endured. Bishops stepped in as civic leaders, organizing defenses and caring for cities. The church's network proved more durable than Rome itself. It preserved faith, law, language, and learning. The fall of Rome tested Christianity's system. Without imperial support, the church stood on its own. Its roots were in local communities, not the emperor's palace. The empire was fragile, the church was resilient. Christianity survived because it was an independent, self-sustaining network. The faith outlasted the empire that once tried to destroy it. After Rome's fall, the church faced a fractured world of barbarian kingdoms. Missionaries adapted, learning new languages and cultures. Conversion often began with kings. If a ruler converted, his people followed. The baptism of Clovis, king of the Franks, forged a powerful alliance with the papacy. Christianity also spread by absorbing local traditions. Pagan festivals became Christian holidays, sacred sites were rededicated. This syncretism made the faith feel familiar, not foreign. Christianity's core message stayed the same, but its expression adapted to each culture. The Bible was translated into local languages. The faith proved it could thrive anywhere: Roman, Irish, Frankish, or Slavic. Its adaptability ensured survival and dominance in a new Europe. Christianity became a truly global faith. Christianity's success wasn't due to centralized power, but to its flexible, distributed network. Each local church was a node, autonomous, yet connected. This structure made the church resilient. If one part fell, others survived. The fall of Rome or loss of a region didn't stop the faith's growth elsewhere. The network was held together by shared stories, rituals, and constant communication. Bishops wrote letters, monks traveled, and councils unified doctrine. This created a strong sense of identity and purpose. Unlike rigid state cults or elite philosophies, Christianity was for everyone. It could thrive on the margins or at the center of power. Its adaptability and networked structure were its secret weapons. Christianity outlasted rivals because it was both personal and communal. Its strength was in its resilient, flexible network. Christianity's rise is more than a history lesson. It's a study in resilience and adaptability. The Roman Empire was vast and centralized, but proved brittle and collapsed. The early church was small, decentralized, and rooted in local communities. Its strength was in its network, not a central hub. Systems built as distributed networks endure longer than rigid hierarchies. Christianity's thousands of communities supported each other through crisis. This principle applies today. From the internet to social movements, profound change often starts small, on the margins, not from the top. Christianity's revolution was about transforming relationships, not conquering power. It succeeded by offering a better way to live together and care for one another. The lesson: lasting success comes from building resilient, adaptable, and human systems.